Happy Halloween! I hope you're eating, frankly, a ridiculous amount of candy today. And since it's Halloween, we're going to get scary. And there's nothing scarier than the cold, hard truth. Oh, by the way, stick around because at the end of the video, I'll announce the winners of the spooky music giveaway. Disclaimer: even though I'm calling these harsh truths, truth is subjective, and also these are just my opinions, and you may totally disagree, and that's okay. It's a holiday, gang, so we're just gonna sit here together and rant a little. I'm gonna try my hand at some low-effort content, but Tay, all your content is— shut up! No, it's not! You guys don't watch the high-effort stuff. But yeah, in all honesty, if there was ever a second monitor video, this is the one. So sit back, maybe work on your own game, and I'm gonna sit here and deliver some harsh truths. First and foremost, making a video game takes effort. This shouldn't be controversial, but apparently it is. First of all, unless you are simply the most talented person ever, in which case, hi Mr. Fox, big fan of your work, you are going to have to learn some new skills as a video game developer. Even if you're rich and can outsource all of the coding, art, writing, etc. to make your dream game, you're at the very least going to have to learn to communicate your vision to those people you outsource to. And let's be honest, most of us aren't rich. And if you can't afford to outsource, you're going to have to DIY. Now, if you're making a quick game that you don't intend anyone else to play, or it's just a fun hobby for you and you don't care if it's good or not, that's fine. But I get so angry when someone pushes out a mediocre piece of slop in a month or two and then gets butthurt when no one wants to play their terrible game. Especially with a game you're going to charge people for. If you're expecting money in exchange for your creation, put some freaking effort into it. And this is going to be the unpopular part of this opinion, and aimed specifically at indie devs who use RPG Maker. I think we've taken the beware of scope creep message a little too far. Because tell me why there are people coming to me and telling me not to include minigames in my game and that scope creep has gotten a hold of me. I'm making a retro-style RPG inspired by PlayStation 1 games. PlayStation 1 RPGs have minigames. If I paid money as a player for an RPG that advertised itself as a PS1 inspired game, I would personally feel incredibly let down by a lack of minigames. That isn't scope creep taking over my project. That's me doing what is expected within my genre. It's the minimum. I often hear people, especially as solo devs, lament about how difficult it is to make a game. You have so much you have to do just to make one game. There's art, story, coding, all the mechanics and balancing, and it always takes so much longer than you expected it to. But I don't think the answer is to strip down every single indie game into its minimum viable product version and then throw it on Steam. Yes, being overly ambitious could mean that it takes a long time to finish your game. But why are we so actively discouraging ambition? Oh no, your game's going to take a long time to be finished because your scope is too wide. So the obvious answer is clearly to release a game that's only a fraction of what you had imagined? Prioritize development speed over actually making a good game? I don't think that's the answer to so many games dying in development. I think instead we need to be cognizant of the sheer amount of work, time, and effort it takes to make a game, and embrace that effort. Encourage each other and ourselves to work hard. You have to work hard to make a game. Effort is simply part of it, and it's a lot of effort to make a good game. We've got to start remembering that. Because as it is now in this little sphere of the indie game dev community, too many people are releasing asset flip, shovelware, cardboard cutouts of games that they made in a couple of months, and then they're expecting someone to buy it for $20. And then when they get a bad review, they get super upset because, hey, this took a lot of effort. Effort is the minimum. Games take effort to make. Well, I can't be expected to do everything super pro all by myself. Yes, you can. If you're a solo game dev making a video game by yourself, you are expected to learn how to do everything that goes into making a video game. The thing you've chosen to do by yourself. That, or spend your money to outsource it. And on that note, number 2, nobody owes you free labor. If I had a nickel for every time someone publicly posted about their super awesome game idea that you could be a part of if you just provided all the artwork for the project without pay, it would be way more than 2 nickels. I would have a lot of freaking nickels. You can't be lazy and also cheap. Oh my gosh, I am getting really fired up. Let's switch gears for a minute. Number 3, making a retro game doesn't mean that your game has to encompass old school values. I see this the most in indie Final Fantasy clones. I love JRPGs. I adore them. There's a reason why I'm making a JRPG style game. It's always been my favorite game genre, and you can see such amazing characters and stories in this genre. And yes, this is a genre built on a pretty big pile of tropes. You see crystals and a band of young misfits and the hashtag evil empire all the time in this genre. But can somebody please tell me why, in 2025, it is still super uncommon for retro-style indie games to have things like black characters, queer characters, female characters that are more than healer sidekick or big boobs fan service? Why are so many of your NPCs male soldiers and then little stay-at-home housewives? Why does nobody in your game have dark skin? And before you come at me with the, well, it's based on medieval, you do know it's fake, right? If your game has magic, monsters, and airships, you do realize you can do whatever you want and make up what you want. It's your game. Now, if you really want to make your very own Final Fantasy or Dragon Warrior that would fit right in next to those NES games, homogenous NPCs and generic story and all, I'm not trying to stop you. You're allowed to make whatever you want. And I'm allowed to judge you for it. Because why? That game has already been made, babe, almost 40 years ago. I just want you to stop for a minute and think. Are you making good game design decisions? Or are you just going for retro vibes without really putting any thought into it? Well, Final Fantasy did it and that game's the best. Let me put it this way. Sexism in a JRPG made in the 1980s makes sense for the time. Gender roles were notoriously rigid, and sexism was very rampant in Japan at the time. And you can still have nostalgia for those old games, even with their issues. I know I do. I love retro games. But if you're here in 2025, and your game could be the long-lost twin of Ys 1, are you doing that just for the retro game nostalgia? Or are you accidentally, or worse, purposefully, perpetuating bigotry? You can make a retro-inspired video game without being racist, sexist, and ableist. And for the record, I do genuinely think that many people who do this aren't being malicious about it. And maybe that's naive of me to say. But from now on, let's all try to be more conscientious and thoughtful with what we're creating. And since I'm sure based on my viewer demographics that pissed some people off, let's move on to something a little less serious. You may completely disagree with this one, and this is very much a place where that disclaimer about subjectivity comes into play. But I have to get this off my chest. Mixed art styles within the same game, 9 times out of 10, is just ugly. I can't even fully blame indie devs for this, because AAA studios are doing it too. So one of my favorite games ever is Suikoden, and I was super excited to play the remake whenever it came out, but the remake is so much uglier. Yeah, it has some quality of life features, but I simply couldn't get past the pixel art sprites on the weirdly HD backgrounds with the smooth and cutesy anime style portraits, and then the sleek modern UI for everything. It was just so much worse than the original to me. The thing is, having a cohesive art direction, even if the art itself is not the most ultra amazing HD, leaves a far better impression than a project full of jumbled art styles that may look awesome in isolation, but just don't work with each other as a whole. I see this all the time in RPG Maker games. And I get that it's because people using RPG Maker typically work with whatever assets they can find or purchase online. And the individual creators of said assets typically aren't thinking about how their stuff will work with others. But here's the thing, if you're a solo dev, you are now the art director for your game. Congratulations on your promotion, the pay is terrible. And don't say, but hey, I'm no good at art. Remember what I said earlier about needing to learn new skills? So as art director, you're going to need to choose a style or aesthetic for your game, and then stick to it. It helps to have something of a vision board or a style guide that you keep in reference. If you commission any art for your game, you can show them the style guide. When you're searching around for assets, you can keep your eye on your style guide and make sure that you're not going too far off from your vision. Designing levels or maps? Yep, look at your style guide. You don't have to be good at art, quote unquote, to make a visually appealing game. Focus on choosing a style and committing to it. And finally, the last harsh truth for this video is, nobody cares about your game. Oof, yikes, that sounds super depressing, but hear me out. You're the one who knows what your game is. Every line of code, every little sound effect, every heartbreaking piece of dialogue, until the game is finished and released, you're the only person who's seen the whole thing. And even after it's released, you're the only one who knows everything that got changed or cut, tiny Easter eggs, or your mindset even when creating it. If you're a solo dev, making a game is a lonely process. You can share updates, screenshots, and devlogs, and some people might love what you've shared. Others might hate it. But most are going to forget about it. That's probably the harshest truth of this video. Nobody's really waiting for your game. No one's sitting there with bated breath refreshing your itch.io. At least I hope no one is, because I haven't updated mine in months. But that doesn't mean give up on your game. It means that you're the one who has to care about it. You have to care enough to pour love into it, even though nobody else cares about it. When you love a project enough to keep showing up for it, even though no one's clapping for you, even when a post gets like 2 likes and one of them is from your alt account, that's when it starts to become something special. You can tell the difference when something was made with love and care, and then when something is just a cash grab or a chance to show off or whatever. Even without the best art, or the most masterful mechanics, or the biggest budget, when a game is made with love, it shows. And that doesn't mean it's going to be some big success, but it will reach someone. Because, not to sound like the cheesiest person in the world, but when you put love out into the world, it will come back to you. So even though nobody cares about your game, make your game. You're not making it because you want other people to care about it, you're making it because you care about it. And that's honestly the best reason to make anything. Alright, okay, before this gets way too cheesy, let's announce the winners of our spooky music giveaway. If you weren't here last week, Famed Mimic, a music creator for Kadokawa, so kindly sent me some Steam codes for their new Gothic Castle music DLC for RPG Maker's MV and MZ. People commented on last week's video for a chance to win, and I threw all of their usernames into a randomizer, and now we have some winners! Congratulations if your username is on the screen right now. You've won a Steam code for this super spooky music DLC pack inspired by the Castlevania games. To redeem your prize, email me at the email on the screen with proof that your YouTube account you commented with belongs to you, I guess. Just have a screenshot or something, and I'll email you back with the Steam code. Even if you didn't win, thanks so much for participating, and we will do more giveaways in the future, so be on the lookout for that. If you liked this video and found any of these harsh truths helpful, relatable, or maybe a little pointed, give this video a like or subscribe to my channel. Actually, most of you guys are subscribed. When I watch YouTube videos, the YouTubers are always saying stuff like, only 30% of you viewers are subscribed, oh my god, shame, shame upon ye. But I think something like 80% of my viewers are subscribed. So you guys are awesome. Oh, can I tell you a secret? I actually cut this video down from 10 harsh truths to 5 because I yapped too much and the video was going to be super long. If anyone's interested, I can do the cut 5 harsh truths as their own video sometime in the future. Just let me know. Okay, speaking of yapping, I need to stop. In the description below is an email where you can reach out to me to send me your game to play on the channel, ask questions, or just chat. I'm nice, I promise. And thank you all so much for hanging out with me, and happy Halloween! Okay, bye.